What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I think we're going to be getting our hands back on the EXO. It's been a minute. I've been trying to get things done on this, but with all these other projects, it's been kind of hard. But today we made some time. We're going to try to get these plates knocked out on the front, maybe cut some bars that'll go along the front end. Let's get to it. Let's see what we can get accomplished. Really ready to get this thing street legal. Need to get this front end knocked out. Rear end shouldn't be too bad on this thing. I just can't wait to rip it. I've already took it down the road a couple times. It was pretty fun, but gonna go ahead and get started on cleaning this one back up, getting that one nice and smooth. Start looking at cutting some plates, getting the measurements and everything on that. Go ahead and get those tacked on. But let's get that knocked out. Let's get to it. Right now I'm just using this right here, just something to put against it. Make sure that it looks like it's square. Bottom kind of rolls in a little bit, and where it got hit in the front a little bit. But we can fix that. Gonna be something, if I can get it held there right. Gonna use this scrap piece right here. It's thick enough. Gonna cut this out. Originally when I was doing this, I was gonna make the plates be detachable, like weld nuts on the back side of the plate that I weld to that, so that I could take the front end off whenever I want to. But with having the bars come, it's more of a structural thing for me. I'd rather the bars be fully welded from there all the way to here and everything be fully welded. I just feel like that gives weak points for if it's a bolt together like type front end. It won't be really right there, but every other bar that it connects to in this area, don't want that to be like really bad crushed up if it was getting to a wreck or something. All right, now on the cutting the front plates, done cut one, about to cut this one. Just went ahead and notched it with the grinder. One thing I definitely want to get started back on soon is getting that dash squared up, putting that back in. Definitely going to be getting a window soon. That'll be coming up in some videos soon. I'm actually liking how that looks kind of from the side and everything. Don't look too bad. Keep in mind, not no professional at any of this. I just build these things for fun. Figured this would be a really fun build. I have a lot, I've had a lot, but this one right here I think would be one of the coolest ones I've had. Can't wait to get done with this thing. Got both plates cut. It didn't come out too bad. Just, I'll obviously get the middle a lot more cleaner. I got the edges really clean so that I can weld, and I did the back side as well. Let's get these things tacked on. It's gotten a little dark out here, but got the tops welded, both sides. They just need to be cleaned off. About to pull it inside, get the rest of this welded, and kind of see where I started making tacks. Just putting them on little spots here and there, get it tied together. The plates are a little bit bigger than intended, but I really don't care. I want more to be able to weld onto the back. That's why those are black. So I welded from the back side. I want that to be a full weld all the way around. Make this thing really sturdy. These corners, I'm gonna go back and round those off, make it look a lot better. I admit, this one looks really straight, but this one, I don't know what I was looking at. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's definitely everything with this so far. Trust me, I've had it on level ground, got it level if it wasn't, made sure this, that, third was level. The cage is perfect. That's why I'm trying to make sure that these are definitely right. I'm gonna have to take this one back off. It is what it is. It's part of fabrication. Alright, we back out here. It's the next day. About to fix this plate right now. Get it straightened out. Alright, after cutting those little tacks that I did, luckily it wasn't too much. Got that one straightened out now. Looks way, way better. Now, get this one tacked back up, then fully weld these out, move on to the next step. Alright, we got some more tacks on those. While we're letting those cool down for now, I don't want to warp the plates. We can talk about the car a little bit. This is what it started out as a 95 EG sedan. But owned it a long time ago, sold it to a buddy. He ended up wrecking it after a little while of having it. Then I bought it back. What's crazy is even before then, I'd sold it to a different buddy. And he kept it in a shop sitting on jack stands forever. Never did anything with it, so I offered one day to buy it back. So I got it back. It sat for a long time, daily drove one of my hatches. Then sold it to the buddy like I was just saying. He ended up wrecking it sadly. So that's what led on to me having to cut the roof off, and I didn't want to let it go. It was still gotta make something out of nothing. Definitely gonna have a fun build on our hands when this is done. Alright, both of the plates finally straight now. You can see I've done been burning them things in. They're very close to being all the way welded. I think they came out pretty nice. I started rounding the edges on them. I think those are gonna do perfect. These bars right here, sadly ain't gonna be able to go there. Like I said, we're gonna fit those here in a minute. I'm gonna finish welding out these two plates right quick. After that, those will be pretty much done. Alright, we finally got those burnt in real good. Now I'm about to clean the front so these plates back off. Done welded all the way down both sides of the back. These are about close to being done. I'm gonna put a little bit of paint on them so they don't rust, but that's about it on those. So I need to put the bars on the front, which I'll show you right here. Suppose this is the bar I'm using, but put these plates here so that anywhere, I don't know if I'm gonna do like two different bars, like one down here, one up here, maybe one in the center, who knows. But that's pretty much why I plated the front and build off, make it where I hold the radiator out a little bit further. I just want to make it look a lot different than really what it used to look like, but still keep it something nice looking. Should turn out pretty nice. We'll see how it goes though. It's always trial and error. I have to say, it actually didn't come out too bad. Pretty much what I pictured in my head. They did look big, but got plenty of weld all the way down both sides. I think they came out pretty dang good, to be honest. But like I said, no professional. Let me know if y'all would have did anything different. But now, time to get moved on to figuring out where I'm gonna place all these bars. May go down from the tower, the strut tower, down here to this part. Not sure yet. Plates are looking pretty good. Letting the helmet charge a little bit while I just mock up some of this and look. And how that other idea wasn't gonna work, where it came down to there. I'm thinking if I just take these bottoms, it's gonna have to be cut down a little bit anyways. We'll make plates for there, down here, same on that side. But the only problem is, this side would be fine. This side, it's gonna be right here over this traveling mount. Don't really want to make it harder than what it needs to be to get it out. I could move it over, but I don't want it really like off center. So at the same time, it's a really nice idea. And then I was gonna take this after it's welded, and then take this and turn it, weld it to this after I notch it. Then it would go up through that way, come down to this. Of course, the exhaust is really close, but once this bottom is cut down, it would sit down a lot lower. Instead of sitting there, it'd probably be ended up being welded around in here somewhere. But it's coming along. Really sad it's not already done, but doing all this fabrication work, it's always fun. And I just put paint on these just to keep them from rusting. Of course, I'll have to go back, take the paint back off to weld to it, but I'd rather it be like that and just scuff up a spot instead of it looking like this. This is just a little bit from sitting inside, and it's already getting like that. And this right here is nice and everything. It would be not simple, but not as bad to just plate this, plate that, cut them both, get that fitted, and weld it. I'm thinking, since this is like this, if I take and maybe, I don't know, if I cut it down enough, go from there over to this, it'll be dropped down to there, it would work for the mount. The only problem is with that is I don't really want it welded to like some little tiny plate that's over here. I'd rather it have a bigger plate, which could work there. I don't know. We're definitely gonna have to figure something out with that, because I definitely want these bars ran right here. That'd be a really good structure point. Going from that up to this, where the strut tower is, add a lot of rigidity. Of course, it's not like I'm gonna just go out here and crash it, but I'm trying to make this thing safe as possible. And actually don't look that bad. If you could just picture everything notched and already cut, those welded, notched, and ran into those. Be a decent start to the front. Still a lot that has to be, because I'm taking from this plate and maybe going maybe 7 to 8 inches out in front of it, and then the front will go up. Then I'll have the radiator probably mounted in the middle. I don't know, there's a lot that's going on, a lot of ideas in my head. Like I said, we're trying to get the dash, at least I already know it's gonna have to be cut to pieces, which is sad, but it's gonna have to be cut to be able to fit back into this. The back, I've been working on some ideas of what I would like for it to be, but I just don't want it something simple where it's just like a wraparound bar that comes like maybe 1 or 2 like everybody does. Of course, all this stuff still needs to be cleaned up. I've not been focusing that much on that, like I was trying to do in all these other videos, just trying to get the main structure together. Then I'll come back, make everything look nice, but I'm definitely wanting to come off of somewhere up in this area, come down. Obviously I'm gonna plate those. There will be a spooler getting made for this thing. I'm waiting because I would really like to see what the front ends up looking like before I get into this that much. But there'll definitely be some bars welded going up this way to brace a pretty big spooler. Not found one yet, but been looking around. All right, we got the lights moved, both sides grinded down, top sides they're grinded somewhat. Might clean it up a little bit, probably have to take the exhaust off. All right, I did my baseline 4 centimeters off of that line, did the same with the other side. I need to, obviously it's not gonna be that long, I need to cut this thing down. Got this cut finally. Needs to be definitely taken down a little bit more. backside. But like I said, I got a line right here. That's what I'm thinking and what I'm kind of wanting where the pipe to end up being at. Definitely still needs to be cut up here. Saving that until I get this one worked out. I want it to be as flush as possible. And then once I put the plate, double check everything, because it'll just, I mean, it's not gonna matter that much, but it'll sit up a tad higher. This one's kind of how it's gonna end up looking. Besides, it'll go into that strut tower, but come up off of that, go up into there. Need to make those plates, but get this bar rest of the way cut. Those two ends on the tops. Want to get these fitted nice and everything. Get those plates cut. Alright, we got it pulled in here. I'm definitely digging how that looks. Just got to get them fitted up at the bottom a little better. And then chop the tops. Get both of them plated. It's definitely going to look pretty good. They're rusty right now, of course, but this whole everything right here will be white if that's what I decide to stick with the cage. I'm really debating. Maybe y'all can help me with this. I kind of like that. Like, squared up on the edge, cut that part off, make that square, and that be the plate. It'd be pretty much like a rectangle and have a little bit of gap. Or bring it all the way forward, weld along that seam, obviously cut it down to where it matches the size of this plate, and just run it like that. Really, I kind of like how that looks. I don't know. Really hard decision on that. Once you weld it, that's where it is, forever. Unless you cut it off and do a whole bunch of stuff that's not really that necessary. That's partially why you need to try to get it right the very first time and not have to do like I did with this plate right here and cut the dang welds and re-weld it, because that just makes the time go slower having to redo what you just did. But anyways, now that I've got some plates sitting here at least, I'm gonna have to cut those down, make those fit, do some cutting, grinding, welding. We'll get it done though. Just sitting here looking at this thing, just a lot of everything. I do want to get a front camber kit, get a lot of this stuff, just little things sorted out. Sooner or later I'm gonna boost this probably. It's just all the little things that I have in my head to come later, and then yet we still have to yet build a front end. But all of it will be in due time. I thought the actual main cage part was never gonna happen, but hopefully this inspires somebody to get out there and do it themselves. I've not spent that much money on this thing thus far. It's definitely a process, but if y'all want to learn from doing it, the same thing I'm doing right now, I've never built anything like this. I just think it's going to be something cool for me to say that it's mine, say that I built it, and if somebody likes it or don't, I really don't care about that. Just if I could show somebody and teach somebody how to do something, then I've served my purpose. I just love build stuff like this. I think I am gonna stick with the plates being real close here to the front. Do a seam weld all the way across both fronts, just to make it look a little better. Cut the plates down where they fit the frame rail a little better. I think that's what I'm gonna go with, and then we'll start working on these back ones. The fitment on this one doesn't need too much. I mean, obviously that plate's not squared, but the fitment on the actual bar Not that bad on that one. This one, being held up by a rock, it needs to definitely be ground down, some taken off the back. I'm just pretty much trying to mock up these plates, see where I want those to go on this. I think this look of this definitely goes along with what I've got so far. If it's a little harder, oh well. Sometimes that's how it goes. Alright, back to fabrication. I'm thinking it's a pretty big gap. I'm gonna put something there and fill that. I'll show y'all later on probably of how I did that, but with how this is, if I don't cut it down, probably gonna have to go and do like I did on this front piece and weld up underneath from the frame rail to this plate, which I don't mind doing. Definitely gonna take off these squared edges, but once I get it welded, this whole piece right here along the front will be welded. Alright, we got the top plates on. Gonna tack those in, get those fully welded up, then probably spray some paint on those. Get back to you here in a minute. And trust me, I'm gonna make them look a little better than they are. They look crazy right now. You can see the tack marks. Got the bottom side tacked in on both sides. Done welded right here at the very beginning of both, and then on the back side, as you can see, grinded it down because I'm gonna weld it some more and make sure that it's actually perfect. But still a little bit more to go. If you're watching still, you're the real OGs. Got these welded all the way across on both sides. Some spots I need to touch up, but I can't wait to get the front bar welded. Like, y'all just have to wait and see. These bars, yeah, those are gonna look pretty good with the bay. But I'm telling you, once we come from the cage over here down to the bar, that's gonna be the front end. I'm telling you, it's gonna be something crazy. Alright, it's a new day. Back out here with this. Got these fully welded in. There's probably like a little bit of work I need to do to get those finally all the way done. I'm gonna start cutting on these back plates. Got me 2 test pieces right here with roughly where I need to start cutting at. Get those squared away, probably tacked in, and then I'm gonna start working on the actual length of these bars. Make sure that they fit nice and snug into right there. But they're pretty much sitting where they're gonna be at. Of course the tops will be cut down, but I think it looks pretty good like that. Alright, got some welds on the back. Not the best. Fixed a couple spots on the front. Got that side done as well. Gonna grind that down. Then these should be done. Get these cut and get those tacked on. Fix this. Still got that little spot I gotta fix. These 2 little ones, but that can be done later. I'm gonna go ahead and start working on getting these done. Alright, we got the first piece cut. Didn't come out too bad. Just worried about getting the bottom cleaned up enough to be able to tack it. Let's get the other side done. Alright, I cut them both, and the driver's side was a little bit smaller than what I made the passenger, but it actually works out where the driver is perfectly what I need. So I'm just gonna draw a line, chop this one off, then I'll have this side done. Get these things tacked on, hopefully. Alright, now we got the brackets all cleaned up, both matching. Now I'm about to have to measure and get these both fitted perfect. Do a little bit of testing with the pipe. Make sure that it's set exactly where it needs to be on both sides, which I want those to match up as well. That's gonna be fun, but let's get to that. Alright, getting this cleaned up. This side, not a problem. That'll go somewhere like so. I can reach with the grinder to get everywhere I need to be able to weld it on this side. The problem is, this side. I have to get something so that I can get just a tad bit deeper right there on that section. Other than that, that's enough. I'm gonna go along with the line right there at the top. But yeah, get that paint knocked off of there so I can get these things tacked on and be one step closer. All right, to give you a little bit of a better idea of what I'm doing here, this will go like that, but I done made some marks right there, pretty much 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch on both sides, so that whenever I put the plate here and kind of mock up which way this bar is going to go and kind of decide where the plate is going to sit, I think right about at the 1 inch, because I don't want it too far over this way because then it'll be hitting the exhaust. Don't want it too far up or anything like that. Need to go make sure we match the other side, make sure that it'll work at the same. The beginning of the plate will start here at 1 inch, and that'll tell me where I need to go and do it on the other side. All right, now on the other side, and this is all just making sure, double checking everything before I go and start getting crazy with the welder. Last thing I want to do is have to cut more welds off. We'll put this one at 1 inch. I can hold this all right. So we put this one at 1 inch. Then that looks like that would work perfect, not be in the way of the mount bolt. So I'm guessing that's pretty much where they're gonna go. 1 inch off of the firewall on each side, pretty much the frame rail, but top frame rail. All right, while I wait, found some paint stripper. I just threw some of that on there. Hopefully get a little bit further over while I look for something else that I can sand that with to get it to bare metal. Guess I'm gonna go ahead, tack this side on. I'm done cleaned it up enough where all the way around is nice and clean. Let's get it tacked on. Alright, got this one tacked in. Just a little bit. I don't ever want to fully weld something until I'm fully committed. But you can see it runs right down through there perfectly straight onto that plate. Have to get this cut down. Start cutting off of the back side of this, getting that right angle on it. Make sure all that goes as planned and comes out like it's supposed to. And then we can fully weld all this. And for those wondering why I haven't taken the exhaust off to do this, I want to have this bar tacked in before I actually take this off. And what I did here, pretty much ran a couple beads across and just kept filling in, going back and forth, little by little. As you can see though, like I said, I still got to fix this little hole. There's like some little tiny ones right there, but wanted to make that look as perfect as I can on both sides. I am thinking about taking and cutting later on once this pipe's welded. Cutting and going up to the frame rail right there. I just don't know if I like the look of it. The front don't look bad. I just feel like that looks kind of funky, but I don't know. It'll come into play later. I just want to get these bars up here mocked up. I possibly tacked in this video, but we're just gonna keep cracking at it and see what we can get done. The paint stripper helped a little bit on this side. I do have a little bit more room down here and down here also. Just got to clean that up a little bit more and then I can get that one tacked on. All right, got this plate tacked in. Finally got this one tacked in. Now, since the bottoms are done, I'm gonna start working on getting these fitted just right so I can get everything welded up after that. So what I'm gonna do now is draw a line over here, leave a little bit of length on that. This at the bottom still needs to be notched back some, but I'm gonna leave that for now. I'm gonna start dialing in how close this one's gonna be, measure from front to where the front of this bar will be, do that on both sides, and try to keep, when I cut this, not going past that, but once I start angling the bottom of this, the bar will go down some. But we're gonna get to that, get the angling that bottom, chopping this top slowly, just little by little. Always take some more off, you can't add some. Alright, got both sides measured up now. I think I'm gonna go with 2.5 off the front. Seems like where both bars are happy. Then drew my lines. Gonna get these chopped down. And of course, they're not where it needs to be. I'm gonna leave a lot right here so that I can start grinding that back, bring this in closer as I want to, but I'm gonna start working on the bottom, getting it nice and right, because everything's gonna change once I start grinding that, grinding this. What are you doing? But let's get at that. Hopefully we can get this dialed in. Then I can tack up these plates all the way and get them all the way welded up, and then get these tacked in. All right, we started cutting on the bottom of this one. Got it sitting pretty much where I want it. I want to have room to get to the bottom to weld it. But it's starting to come out. I need to take some more off the back. This top one right here is the one that I started doing for the driver's side. And this one's the passenger. You can kind of see how it needs to be squared off. Not squared, but it needs to be cut pretty much flat like that one is, so that it can fit the right angle, and then we can slowly go around the pipe and do little by little till we get it matched up enough to where it's good to be able to weld it. All right, passenger side, we got it about perfect. Now I'm gonna work on starting to cut this side and get the pipe moved in further. Get on our 2.5 mark, which we ain't too far from it. Kind of a sneak peek. This is kind of what the front end is gonna end up being like. Still got some more fabrication on it, but you just imagine where I'm welding the bars that are going right now from down here to there. That literally only gives me a little bit of gap that I'll have to go from there up to here, and then I will weld a bar that goes from that over to this. Not sure if I'm gonna do anything in the center just yet. Got plans, got some plans for it. Just have to stay tuned for that. Alright, been slowly putting tacks on the plates, letting them cool, coming back, doing it again. Went ahead and cut both pipes. You can see I got them actually right there. We're almost on the 2-inch mark. I think I'm gonna change my mind and go a little bit ahead of 2 inches on both sides. I just feel like that would be better to have it closer to the front than to have it in the middle, which I was wanting to have it in the middle, but it is what it is. But that's definitely gonna look good. Now we just need to match up the other side, get that one dialed in just like this one. All right, we got that side mocked up. It's just sitting there by itself. Just got this one done. Drew new lines. They're both matching now. All right, about to finish welding up these plates. Then gonna clean off all this paint, draw a new set of lines, start getting everything measured up, and get these tacked in now. Another late night, but we got them tacked in at least. I only got one tack on each one at the very top. Right now I'm just making sure everything looks center and how I want it to be on the frame rail, mainly down here at the bottom spot. But looks good to me. All right, with a little bit better light now. Like I was saying, got the tops tacked, nothing on the bottom yet. About to tack those. I've looked them over. I think they're in a pretty good spot. They're both dead center on the frame rail. Let's weld these things up. Well, got everything all welded up finally. Came out great, I think. Now, spray a little bit of paint on these. Welds didn't come out too bad. They look pretty good. I'm happy with it. That's all that matters. Just keep in mind, I'm just doing this all for fun. Figured it'd be cool. Maybe somebody get a kick out of watching this. I'm gonna build these cars regardless. That's why it's taking me this long to get this video out, is just because I got a lot of cars I'm trying to build at once. Might as well film it. Maybe somebody would want to watch it and see it. Hopefully I'm helping somebody out and teaching somebody something out of this. So let's get to spraying these bars. Alright, two things. One, I forgot about Sharpie fades through the paint, which doesn't matter because like I said, this whole thing's getting redone. And number two, I think that looks really dang good. Like, that came out nice, matching that. We'll have to see it tomorrow in the daylight. I ain't gonna let y'all go without at least seeing that. And we'll have to get some paint off of my mount, which I'm probably gonna buy brand new ones. Don't really care about those that much. But yeah, those are officially done, thankfully. Back out here, beautiful day. Got Minty, EG hatch with a front bumper, Snowflake, EG hatch without the front bumper. Then we got El Chapo, the EG sedan EXO project. And I think the front came out pretty dang nice. Really satisfied with how this came out. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna wrap the video up there. Next we'll be starting on getting the rest of the front built. Start getting some bars that come down from the actual cage down to this part. Definitely looking forward to getting that done. But appreciate y'all watching. If y'all have any ideas of things y'all would do or things y'all would have did differently, y'all definitely drop them in the comments. Let me know. This is just something I'm building for fun, but I like criticism. Y'all have a good one. See you next.